Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nite of Misfortune bringing you the final from the Season 2 SCS League. I have Spiff joining me. How are you doing, Spiff?
Doing great, thanks. I'm excited for this series.
As I'm forgetting to get mini-maps and things. Spiff, would you like to introduce our first player?
Yeah, over here on the left, spawning in as the White Aeon Commander here on QAI Labs for game number 1, we have FoxTermelon, who is the higher-seeded player in this match, and he has started off by dropping down a very quick air factory. He's going to be scouting real soon here. Who's on the other side, Nite?
His opponent, also with a faction of Aeon, we have our number 2 seeded player. We have MauganRa, who's also starting out with that air factory, and he has, of course, the color green. And apologies for not bringing you a little bit of a pre-match show. I actually messed up the time. Today has been really crazy, but honestly, it's not about today. I actually messed up in the conversion of the time. As we see FoxTermelon's scout come across the map, and it's going to get picked up by MauganRa.
Yeah, he did get that scout out super early, but the timing of it just made it easy for MauganRa to get behind it.
Yeah, that plane popped out right away and managed to get in behind of it. FoxTermelon doing that infamous little trick with the research station here, while MauganRa is actually building a research station here. So we will see if we're going to see more of the TML shenanigans that we've been seeing from FoxTermelon.
It doesn't look like it. His land factory that he's got queued up here is a little bit further back, so it looks like he's going to stay not quite as aggressive. And if you want that TML to be able to hit stuff, you got to build it a little bit further up in the choke point.
I think you're definitely right, Spiff. And so this match will be a best out of 5 since this is the final of the season. Of course, that winner is going to get the seed to go to the Invitational Tournament at the end of the year. So this is a lot on the line. Both of these players, as we were actually getting a little bit of a freeze here. Okay, there we go.
A little hiccup.
Both of these players going Aeon. Of course, this is a very special match between two players that main Aeon quite a bit. And I would hazard a guess that both of these players are the top 2 players in this respective faction. So
Didn't I see one of them had chosen UEF for one of the maps a little further down the line here?
You are correct. Game 4, which will be played on Van Horne, will be played UEF by MauganRa, which might be a good idea on that map because it is more of an air-favored map. However, I did see him kind of fall a little bit short against Aeon and Cybernon map because it is a little bit harder to contest the air later on as UEF, especially with those Aeon upgrades.
Of course, that's if we get to Game 4.
Yes, you're all right. Well, I'm hoping we get to Game 4. I hope we get to Game 5 because open palms between 2 Aeon factions, and I'm assuming they're going to grab Aeon, will be quite a ridiculous feat to watch.
Absolutely. We do see FoxTermelon's commander was blocking a couple of units there. AI kind of derped.
Yeah, we see quite a bit of anti-air. They're called crackdows coming out from FoxTermelon. I don't know if that's ultimately a good decision here as he's forfeiting tanks to MauganRa here.
Yeah, MauganRa got that second land factory up just a little bit quicker, so he's going to have the advantage on the ground. Even though he did lose, now he's probably going to lose a second. No, I'm sorry. He didn't lose a fighter. FoxTermelon lost a fighter.
Yep. However, MauganRa sends in a scout that is going to get picked up, but he gets very valuable information, knowing now that there is an exact same number of land factories for FoxTermelon, and the thing that he has advantage for is that anti-air, which he did not build, so he definitely has the tank advantage at this point. I don't know why he's going for a shield generator on his factory here. Of course, it will always be useful, but honestly, right now, I would focus on building land and winning land. What do you think, Spiff?
I mean, I think either way is a good way to go. At this point, he does have a research advantage, and he's had the factory advantage for a little while. So playing defensive, not a terrible idea. Just continue to build up that advantage over time.
quite a bit of energy generators coming out from FoxTermelon, again indicating that possible progression into teleport. Of course, in this map, I would say that it's a little bit less dangerous, and seeing that there is a little bit less of research stations from him, he's actually losing in that front to MauganRa and on the land factory front as well. So this is quite curious. I'm wondering where his mass is going. Oh, I know where. It's probably to that air production, which he is going to win most likely.
He did manage to pick off that engineer that was assisting the factory. Hasn't lost any fighters to the AA just yet.
Yeah, and this might become a little bit of a concern for MauganRa because he doesn't have anything left back there. FoxTermelon's land forces are advancing here.
And it looks like MauganRa is pulling his ACU back, probably going to drop down some more anti-air back there.
Yep, definitely a good idea. However, this Air Force is looking scary. MauganRa is going to try to engage here, catch these planes off guard, but no, that is too late for that. Backs off his land as well, back across that bridge. And I don't...
FoxTermelon now throwing down a research station. He's still a land factory behind, but at this point, it's probably pretty even on research based on FoxTermelon having killed just a little bit more stuff.
Indeed, yes, and Supreme Commander is such a positional war that if you lack the ability to keep track of the opponent's air in this situation, if you get caught off guard, get one bad engagement, the game can flip on your head.
Absolutely.
Anti-air coming up for MauganRa. He, of course, did have that research station since the beginning of the game, so that's a little bit of an advantage from him. We actually see bada booms coming out from FoxTermelon, however, and we'll see.
Well, that's a dead giveaway on what tech's going to be coming.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure that FoxTermelon has seen this research factory from MauganRa, so I'm not quite sure on that. Of course, FoxTermelon continuing with his beautiful air control. If you have not seen his matches during the league, that is something that he's very well known for, continuing to just find those targets for bombing, and he's doing so right there.
Yeah, and that bombing run also definitely gave him vision on that research station.
Yep.
I think that research station is maybe just out of radar, though, so he doesn't know how long it's been there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's not sure, and it could have been built by the commander on his way back here, so it is quite of an interesting, I guess, puzzle for him to figure out, because there's no tech that's coming out from MauganRa. But of course, oh, actually there is. There's shields on those units, so I'm not quite sure why he won't just push at this point. He knows he has an advantage on land a little bit. Of course, now they're equated on the factories.
He's probably just taken the long way around to teleport.
Yep. Which is honestly a really good idea, because if you can manage to hold on while your opponent gets teleport, your units are going to be so much stronger.
And here comes really maybe the first big engagement of the game here as FoxTermelon moves his forces forward, pushing into that factory shield.
Gotta keep track of that air. Of course, it can become quite a big of a factor, as those shields on those factories do withstand quite a bit of tank shots. And MauganRa wins out a little bit on that engagement. Bombing run coming in, taking out quite a bit of tanks there. Nice split, though.
It only got two.
Yes, nice split by FoxTermelon, and those tanks were able to engage a little bit better. And
two right back.
Yeah. Trading so closely. These players are just playing very, very carefully, I would say.
Yeah, very few units lost so far. Typically at 10 minutes into the game, you'd expect to see a lot more wrecks.
Well, you know, on a map like this with a choke point, I think it does become a little bit of a grind fest towards that teleport. And once that teleport hits, I mean, it could get chaotic on this map, because whoever does get it first, maybe FoxTermelon is doing the right thing by rushing to it, because on here, once you teleport to the back, you're pretty much, you can't be caught up to. Unless your opponent also has teleport. And then it becomes
I do think
teleport is first.
Yeah, teleport is the best way to get those outlying mass extractors too. Like otherwise you have to build a transport, and that's just a pain in the butt.
Yep. You know, I don't think I've actually teleported engineers that often.
I think this is the only map where I've done it.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't play this map as often. I've only really played it for tournaments. I don't like the chokiness of this map. I really don't. But players for some reason like it. What are your opinions on this map?
Well, as a Cybern player, I definitely prefer to have a little bit more open area to move around. But I mean, I think Open Palms is the quintessential map because it gives you the best of both worlds. You do have plenty of room to maneuver in some open areas, but you also have some very choke pointy spots.
Another scout getting shot down by MauganRa. Or I guess that would be FoxTermelon. These players are so similar. Honestly, I haven't had a proper chance to introduce these players because of the hectic startup time of this match. But honestly, both of these players have seen so much success. Again, it's just such a close game. And if I had to pick a winner, I could not simply do so. Of course, MauganRa has won the Serpents Open Winter and Season 1 of the SCS. And of course, FoxTermelon is only been defeated once in the Serpents Open Winter Tournament. Still has yet to drop a map in this playoff. He only dropped one, I believe, in the playoffs or in the league itself. So it's just a crazy game. Could not get much closer in terms of skill level and results from these two players.
And I think you definitely see that in their gameplay as well, because they just have an enormous amount of respect for each other. No one's just charging in thinking, oh, easy win.
Yes, indeed. There's no cheese as of yet, which I do expect there to be some.
You know, I think when you're in a tournament or a league play, you have to be able to cheese at least a little bit, because you got to throw some unpredictability into your repertoire.
Yes, indeed. All right, it looks like there is going to be an engagement here in the center. MauganRa's forces are a little bit split about. I do like this for FoxTermelon a little bit better. He has to have teleport by now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Where did the rest of MauganRa's planes go?
Yeah, they were spent on scout, and he stopped production quite a bit of time ago. Nice
so
split.
He did. Very nice split. And I think if you look at the score screen, that seems to indicate that FoxTermelon came out on top of that engagement.
Yeah, I don't think... I think MauganRa has it a little bit backwards when he engaged the first time. It's a little bit better for him now here, but of course he has a little bit of less units now. And it doesn't seem like as many tanks are firing from MauganRa. Now he's getting bombed. Oh, boy.
Ooh. What was that, 6, I think? 6 in a single bombing run?
That was a lot of forces going down. Oh, you know what? FoxTermelon ranked his tanks up. And MauganRa didn't.
And there's that teleport.
Wow. There's simply not enough tanks for MauganRa at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he knows where... like FoxTermelon knows where MauganRa's ACU is at the moment, though.
Yeah. MauganRa doesn't seem to have teleport yet, either. So that's... yep, MauganRa controls K's, realizes that he's just too far behind, and FoxTermelon takes game 1.
Yeah, when you lose the first major engagement like that, it is just so hard to catch up.
Yeah, we'll see what game 2 brings us. It's going to be on Iskellian Coast. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game 2 between MauganRa and FoxTermelon. First one was a little quick, I think. We are on map 2, which is, of course, Iskellian Coast. Let's see if MauganRa can pull back a little bit of a comeback here. And so, in the bottom, we have our white Aeon Commander, FoxTermelon, starting off with 1 air factory. Gonna be, it looks like, a very similar build to what he did on the last map. And what's his opponent doing on the other side, Spiff?
Over here spawning in is the blue Aeon Commander. MauganRa is also throwing down a quick air factory, although once again his is a little bit further behind. I think because he chose to fill in some eco first. Almost identical timing to the last map, actually. He's going to have a fighter popping out just as FoxTermelon's scout gets over his base.
Yeah, very similar to last game. Of course, this map is pretty close to Kai Labs. We were just talking about that before the match started with the choke point here in the center. But that water does open up some teleport possibilities, so, or of course just simply flanking possibilities. So we'll see if these players choose to utilize that to their advantage.
You know, the one thing I really wish was different about this map, I wish that you could move units under the bridge on water.
All right, so we do have quite a bit of a different game. Sorry to cut you off there, Spiff. It doesn't look like we're going to have land units under bridges this game around, because we have 2 double air factories for both of these players.
Yeah, so we're going to have an air war. I think that makes sense on a map like this, Aeon versus Aeon, where, you know, I mean, you've got these ridges that prevent you from just walking up the beach, but still, basically, the whole map is land, as far as Aeon's concerned.
Yeah, and we're getting a little bit of lag again. I wonder what is causing this, but it looks like it's okay now.
And MauganRa already sending an engineer out to the south to take the island mass extractors, while FoxTermelon is also choosing to expand to the south.
Yeah, which is a little curious, because MauganRa is playing a little bit of a slower game here, and I think FoxTermelon might have caught that engineer on his radar a little bit. So the reason why I say that is because, of course, MauganRa is going to be a little bit behind on his air, and he's seen that when he was scouting, most likely, losing that scout also. So I'm not too sure about expanding so aggressively this game.
Well, yeah, the thing I noticed, FoxTermelon has chosen to go for those further mass extractors rather than filling in the ones that are closer to his base. I think he's just trying to pull a sneaky there.
FoxTermelon being a little aggressive with his air. Nope, turns it around. That scout is going to get picked off. And I'm not sure if he's seen that second air factory before. He might have hoped to win air with the double air factory, but now, of course, realizing it, backs off his air.
Third air factory going to go down here for MauganRa.
Yeah, and it's going to become that little bit of a tricky situation. Whoever goes that land factory first, if they manage to squeeze out a couple of units, again, that water can come into play here, because he can just send one mobile missile launcher around, all the way around, and it can cause quite a bit of havoc. And if your air is well positioned, you're going to cut off your opponent from bombing that mobile missile launcher, or at least if they do, you might get a really good engagement. So it might become a very bait and switch type of game.
And I don't think Maugan has any sort of... Oh, there goes the radar right now. So that is going to help him spot out any of those flanking maneuvers.
Yeah, that is quite a bit late, and if I was FoxTermelon, he might not have realized this, but I would have abused that a little bit, because that is definitely a disadvantage playing with against air, with air.
Again, though, we're just seeing both of these players just having respect for each other and not really wanting to take any risks.
Yeah, it looks like both of them are going to try and tech up to that game-deciding tech, I suppose. Of course, last game, we were expecting really it to end with teleport. And of course, here, you can have that possibility with air as well. But in last game, it actually ended up being a tech or a training war. We saw FoxTermelon. I almost want to say it was a bait, as we can have a air engagement here, looks like. Ooh, this might be very good for FoxTermelon. His air is right behind, but MauganRa turns around at the last second.
And now it's anyone's game.
All right, it's so hard to see blue and white on this map. MauganRa looks like put in a couple stars. Both of them have 1 star, I think.
FoxTermelon is winning the engagement, though, and I think that one just came down to positioning, because the amount of fighters were very close.
Yeah, I don't know about engaging there for MauganRa. That was he was quite a bit behind on air, I feel like. And now Fox has free reign on all these mass extractors. Need some anti-air right away. Yep, we do see that anti-air factory coming online. I don't know why I keep calling them anti-air factories. They're turrets.
What's a factory anti-air?
Yeah, but I was talking about the the turret he's about to put down. Let's see if FoxTermelon utilizes this air to go around a little bit. That would definitely be the good move here.
I think FoxTermelon still hasn't noticed the expansion off to the east here.
Yeah, and that anti-air turret, I think, could be at least a little bit closer to MauganRa's main base, because it is quite out of position right now, I think. Ooh, that might be a good engage for MauganRa. Doesn't manage to pick off any planes there. Oh my goodness.
And it turns into a good engagement for FoxTermelon.
Yeah. It does look like there's some anti-air.
But I think FoxTermelon's gonna wipe Maugan's air again.
Yeah. Maugan's air control is not very good this game because, and he controls K's as he loses his air for the second time and going down 2-0 in game 2.
Well, next game then, FoxTermelon has an opportunity to sweep the series, and Maugan is fighting for his life.
Next game will be on Treallach Island, I believe, which is quite a bit of a different map, so it does require a little bit of a different approach, I think. So we're going to see if MauganRa can turn this around. We'll be right back in just a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 on Treallach Island between MauganRa and FoxTermelon. I'm joined back by Spiff. Who do we got playing?
Over here on the right-hand side, spawning in as the green Aeon commander, we've got MauganRa, who is currently down by 2 games, and he needs to win this one to continue on in the series. And you see he's throwing down some eco and then going for an air factory. And what's going on the other side?
On the other side of Treallach Island, as I fix a little bit of an overlay issue, we've got our white Aeon commander. Surprise, surprise to no one. We have FoxTermelon. He is also going 1 air factory, and it looks like it's going to be a similar type of game. The scout coming out. MauganRa's air is a little delayed once again.
I don't know if I would say delayed. It's just an eco-first build. And I wonder if it's not intentional just to put him in a position where he can always kill the scout. Otherwise, these two players do have very similar builds.
Yep, so that scout getting picked off by MauganRa once again, it looks like. Oh no, it managed to get through. That's funny.
Why did MauganRa turn around?
I'm not sure, but that was pretty cool by Fox.
Sent that scout way out.
Now Maugan is going to scout.
FoxTermelon throwing down his tricky research station way far forward.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, people are going to know what you're doing, right?
I think so. But I wonder if that placement indicates that he intends on pushing fast.
Yeah. Nope. We're not, I was going to say we might see a TML here. But no, it looks like he is going to put a little bit of more of a defensive front here. Ooh, and now for the first time we do not see a mirror from these players. MauganRa is going to be going for that second air factory while FoxTermelon is throwing down a land station. And MauganRa's build is a little bit more delayed. I wonder what he's doing. It doesn't look like it's giving him any economic advantage. In fact, I think FoxTermelon is actually getting more energy generators while he's doing his opening. What do you think about that, Spiff?
Yeah, it's a little odd. I think it's just again kind of a just a side effect of the fact that MauganRa chose to go eco first.
Yes, indeed. Maybe he's hoping for a late game, but unfortunately it never really gets there because he seems to lose the fight. Of course, now he's going to get quite a bit more air. There is a radar, which I don't know if it reaches to those to those air factories. So I'm not sure if FoxTermelon is aware of all this air.
I don't think he's aware of all of that air production yet. That engineer's radar would not have been enough to show him.
All right, MauganRa needs to churn around. He has a good opportunity to win air right here, right now. This is looking good for MauganRa. Really doing a good job getting behind the planes, too. This is a good fight for MauganRa here. Fox put training into his air, too, so he committed quite a bit into this, and he's about to lose his air right here.
This could be the thing that turns this series around for MauganRa, this one engagement here.
But this one lonely tank going on the right-hand side of Treallach Island might spoil all the plans for MauganRa here. What if that was an MML? That would be brutal.
No, I think he's going to have plenty of time to pull his planes back and take out that tank. He's already got planes bombing it.
Okay, now MauganRa really needs to use his air advantage that he just got to do some damage here. He cannot keep it backwards. There we go. Good job. Good split on that air. You do not need all of your air force to bomb that one lonely little tank. And now you need to look for mass extractor targets, Maugan. You can't have your air sitting there.
I think he needs to expand behind this too, and which he's doing. He's sending that engineer over to the left.
FoxTermelon grabbing a 4th air factory, though. He is committing hard to air. MauganRa needs to scout and see this.
He could still easily take out that air, even with the AA towers on the factories.
There is a research station for MauganRa, though, so that is actually quite a bit of an advantage here, because I don't think FoxTermelon can win air here very easily. And it looks
it's
like
definitely going to be an uphill battle for him.
I think MauganRa is going top research because we see 1125 on his health. I think that's the health upgrade. All right, here we go. This is what I wanted. MauganRa, you need to bomb some of these structures right here. Of course, he needs to be a little careful because when you do bomb ground targets, that does slow down your planes, which can give an advantage to your opponent if he decides to engage in air. Needs to be super careful here. FoxTermelon actually managed to get quite a bit of planes here. Turns around. Do not turn around. You need to keep going forward, MauganRa. Actually, oh! Beautiful!
That was like the reverse of the engagement in the last game.
Wow. He gets another really good engagement here and wipes out FoxTermelon's air once again.
Despite the fact that FoxTermelon was almost getting caught up in numbers.
Now has to back off a little bit because there's that anti-air there. But FoxTermelon, again, he overcommitted into air, even though despite he knew he was going to lose that fight. But he decided to tech into it and grab another air factory. Of course, a 4th air factory coming out for MauganRa. This is looking very difficult to come back from for FoxTermelon. MauganRa even grabbing expansions. He's doing everything to follow this up. He's not becoming complacent. He keeps his air moving, and he is ahead in this game. This is MauganRa's to win.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, one engagement really can just determine the game. And if you get that one good engagement, it's just all downhill from there.
Good bombing on that air factory. Not even an engage from FoxTermelon. FoxTermelon is going to try and fight this to the end, which is, there's nothing wrong with that because, again, this is a tournament game and there is a lot on the line. There is a seed to the final, although both of these players do have quite a bit of points. It's always nice to just kick back and know that you've qualified automatically. So they're going to fight to the end here. Don't want to be taking free fire from that anti-air, though.
I wonder why would FoxTermelon build that up there instead of coming back and building on the wreck? If he built on the wreck, he could put an AA tower on the factory and cover these mass extractors in the back a lot better.
FoxTermelon is just gonna commit to air.
I don't think he really has a choice at this point.
He built that land factory,
AA.
you know, he stopped production on it to get air, to catch back up in air, I think, which wasn't ultimately a bad idea because he's committed to research in air at that point. But at this point, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he can win air at this point because I'm willing to bet MauganRa is very close to shields here.
The only way FoxTermelon wins air from here is if MauganRa takes a horrible engagement.
Actually, I think both of these players have 1 star and the health upgrade. MauganRa is just going to wait comfortably for his shields, I think, which he just got. So, yep, he needs to be sniping a little bit more. He's being a little too careful, which is understandable again, but he definitely has this. Ooh, that might be a bad fight.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if Maugan was splitting his air to get a good engagement, or if that was just the AI being goofy.
Ooh, FoxTermelon might get a good engagement here. All right. This could very well be the last engagement here, as Fox cannot afford to lose any more battles here. MauganRa, what are you doing? Oh, no. I think
And like I said, it comes down to MauganRa has to take a horrible engagement. That might have been it.
Yeah, but I think he still has this. It goes back to what I said about air becoming quite a bit slower, so FoxTermelon was able to hang on with his air here. And we are going to game 4, ladies and gentlemen, to that UEF versus Aeon match. We'll see if MauganRa can keep this going and tie this series up. Pretty good game from him here, though.
That was a fantastic game.
Yep, great game, and we'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game 4. I lost count. Apologies for that. Between FoxTermelon and MauganRa. Spiff, would you care to introduce the players?
Yeah, over here on the left-hand side, spawning in this time as a blue UEF commander, we have MauganRa, fresh off his win from the last game and dropping down pretty much the same build, Eco into Air Factory. What's going on the other side?
On the other side of the core, the ravine, I guess, it is our white Aeon commander. Is anybody surprised? It is FoxTermelon. Also opening up with air. Going to be a little difficult against UEF this game, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts. I'm really hoping that his adjustment is not a TML, but we do see that second air factory, so I think we're safe from that.
Yeah, meanwhile, MauganRa's still on just 1 factory here. But those UEF planes do produce a little bit faster, so this time first plane pops out before FoxTermelon Scout gets there. Also, it's a big map, so that probably played a factor too.
Indeed, we do see a research station coming out from MauganRa. He's going to see that second air factory, so we'll see how that adjusts. Of course, as a UEF player, you do have to play a little bit more cautiously. You do have to get a radar up very quickly, because if you're out of position, your opponent can snipe those mass extractors very quickly, and that can be a huge factor the longer this game goes.
Yeah, I actually really like that research station before getting another factory, because the main way that Aeon wins air versus UEF is by getting ahead in research and getting shields and flares. So he doesn't want to fall behind. MauganRa wants to stay even on research and make sure that his fighters can still survive.
And, you do see, again, FoxTermelon's scout getting away while MauganRa's getting picked off. No, Maugan, there's no TML. Don't worry. And you gotta wonder, you gotta practice that on these maps. That is a huge deal, I think, in my personal opinion. You can't give at the very top level. You can't give your opponent anything, an inch, and letting that scout go, I think, is a huge deal.
Those little things add up.
Yeah,
and they can add up real quickly.
And we do see him actually rescout quite a bit. So that takes out your opportunity for rescouting. And if you do rescout, that puts you even further behind, which, of course, as a UEF, you're a producing machine. Oh, man, is there still a TML going to be?
Yeah, I was about to say don't speak too soon because FoxTermelon is moving his ACU very far forward here.
Please don't do it. Oh, boy.
He's got 3 energy generators. I don't know if he's going to have enough energy to throw down a TML.
You were saying?
I was saying nothing. I said nothing. Nope.
Oh, my goodness.
Just ignore what I said.
All right. Well, MauganRa does have that research station, but there's nothing that he could do against this TML at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if he's been saving his research station, he could throw down a land factory and start getting some slip tacks. The UEF ones are called slip tacks, right?
I believe, no, they're sharpshooters.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, this TML is going to be pretty devastating.
Already.
UEF planes don't shoot down.
You need to heal that mass extractor. You could keep it alive a little longer. Oh, MauganRa, come on. Are you going to try and win the air fight? But FoxTermelon is hiding his stuff. Oh, he actually paused production. I wonder if that's why MauganRa has called that out. Maybe he saw that the production was stopped.
Maybe. He's going to put his commander in front of that mass extractor.
I mean, that is a good plan.
Hits.
He really needs a land factory. That's what he definitely needs. I mean, he sees there's no more air here. He needs to put a land factory and get those sharpshooters. Oh, MauganRa.
We do see him popping out some gunships.
I don't know.
Might be too little too late.
Oof, yeah, you really need ground fire here.
I think those gunships are just going to take too long to get up to any sort of number significant enough to push Fox back.
Yeah, I don't think you needed a second air factory as UEF on this map. You really got to play a little more reactive, and that radar is much needed, I think.
Placement on that radar would have been real important too, because if he built it in his main base, he would not have seen FoxTermelon pushing up the center.
Finally putting down that land factory, but at this point, the damage has been done.
Yeah, I don't think it can come up fast enough.
Actually, he's only lost 3 mass extractors here. He is doing pretty healthily on...
I think it's 4.
Well, now it's 4, but that one was never really built.
Good. Okay, yeah, good point. But the resources were still spent on it.
Yeah, you're right. Don't get me wrong, this is painful. This is... Oh, my goodness. Shields coming up on all factories.
And MML's coming in now. I don't know how long that factory's going to survive.
There's still air for Fox. We can't forget that. MauganRa's air is God knows where. And,
hanging out on one of the other spawns.
does not go sharpshooters. Goes TML instead. Or, sorry, MML.
He might not have sharpshooters unlocked yet.
Oh, he unlocked the gunships. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Where is your air, MauganRa? Jeez Louise.
And those gunships will have been spotted out by now.
Yep. But he does not decide to engage them. That is curious.
Probably worried about FoxTermelon's air. He's waiting until his fighters get back. Oof. And here we go.
That is a very bad engage from MauganRa. But he does decide to engage with his gunships as well, but oh man, this is rough. Their shields, he's not really targeting down what he needs to here.
Yeah, he lost a lot of gunships there.
Yep. Oh my god, even losing all his wasps, losing that land factory, and I think this is game, everybody.
Well, he has been expanding quite a bit, so he's got a good bit of eco to fall back on.
That's actually very true.
But he's definitely he's gonna have to give up his starting base. And that is not fun.
You know, coming into this game, MauganRa, I feel like he was well aware of this possibility of TMLs coming up. And he went UEF on a map that's a little bigger, but you still have to wonder, you know, you have to prepare. Like, the tournament that we've seen, and I don't mean to spoil it for anybody if you haven't seen that, but FoxTermelon, if I could say so myself, went a little ham on TML. So if you're MauganRa, I feel like you have to prepare for that possibility. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. You know, I wonder if there wasn't a little bit of metagaming going on, though, because MauganRa did, I believe he scouted out that second air factory that FoxTermelon had put down, and that might have lulled him into a false sense of security, thinking, oh, okay, this is going to be another air war, no TML this game.
Well, he did call it out.
Yeah, I think he might have realized, wait a minute, I done fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, that is a big deal about scouting. You have to, especially if you know it's coming, you gotta prepare for it. I think that a land factory would definitely have been a much safer option.
Well, you know, one air, one land is, especially on smaller maps than this, though.
Target down on MML.
It's one air, one land is a very safe opening build because you can do anything from there, and you have access to whatever you need. So yeah, I think if you're expecting an air war and you throw down a second air factory, you're going to be in a lot of trouble when your opponent pushes you on the ground.
Man, he should have targeted down that MML. That is really the only issue with this army right now.
Yeah, he must have been distracted somewhere else on the map.
Yeah, I was about to say, MauganRa looks very unlike himself this game. He does have a chance here. Like you said before, he has expanded quite a bit, and I'm not sure FoxTermelon realizes just how much over there in the north. But still, this air force is looking very scary.
Yeah, MauganRa would have to win air back, and I don't see that happening with the amount of pressure Fox is putting on him.
Okay, needs to control these. Where's that TML coming from? Oh, okay, he continues to do the TML things. Alright, so MauganRa stabilized for a bit. He still has to worry about the TML.
And the air.
So he needs to... I think the best thing that MauganRa can do right now is probably go turtle mode. But he needs those sharpshooters first.
Yeah, I think turtling up is really the only option that he has, because if he wants to win air back, he's going to have to defend himself, keep Fox's air away, also keep those mobile missile launchers on the ground. He's just got a lot to juggle right now if he wants to get back in this game.
Oh, and I wonder if that scout is going to reveal his base up in the north. Doesn't look like Fox is going to respond to that just yet. That engineer is probably not going to get wind of that either. I think he's just on the edge of his expansion. Is it... What's going on with that engineer? Is it stuck? Oh, it was just lagging. Okay. I was like, why isn't it moving?
Yeah, it's going to take a minute before that engineer gets over there to see that expansion.
Shields and what are they called? Flares for Aeon now? Oh man. Another poor control of air here. Gets a decent engagement here, but that's more because FoxTermelon is a machine. But again, I would have pulled him back.
Yeah.
Like 2 seconds earlier than that. That could have been much worse. Oh my goodness, what? Come on, pull him back. You gotta pull him back. Maugan,
Yeah.
where are you?
And he's clearly, he's either using Control Z or Control A because he's got these fighters streaming in from across the map that probably have given away that expansion by now, if Fox was paying attention.
He does have those sharpshooters now, so that's gonna shut down the TML. And let's see what FoxTermelon follows up with. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Lolgun at this point.
Well, he's got a lot of energy generators in what used to be MauganRa's base. I don't know. We might see teleport on the air, just like you've been hoping.
Yeah. I wasn't really hoping for it. Actually, probably the opposite of that.
I was hoping. I was hoping.
Another really poor engagement in air. Oh my goodness. And at this point, FoxTermelon might have enough to snipe here. Yeah, MauganRa realizes that and backs off. His commander under the shield. Yep, MML's now stringing in. Or streaming in, rather. Not stringing in. Finally realizes there's a base up north. That's going to end that pretty quickly. Even if MauganRa even if MauganRa gets anti-air on those mass extractors, that's going to be pretty quick. As we continue to have some lagging issues.
Well, hey, welcome to international game.
Yeah, I know. Both of us are, of course, in the States. They're playing from Europe. I'm still not quite sure that MauganRa is actually Bulgarian, though. Or Belarus, sorry. It's the Belarus flag, not Bulgaria.
FoxTermelon builds another TML to take out the expansion base.
Oh my goodness, that's too much. Oh, there are mech guns now. But that's not going to stop that bomb. It's simply too many planes at this point. Takes out the... Oh no, it doesn't take it out. Oh my god, the last bomb I think takes it out.
And goodbye, engineer. We do have a couple of mobile missile launchers that managed to make it out, though.
That's so much TML. Jesus. It's a lot of air factories coming out from Maugan, though, but a little worried about these MMLs now. More than likely, we're going to see an air engagement here again, but I don't think MauganRa can win it. He's been very cavalier with his air forces, but he does manage to pick off those MMLs. That is a little bit of a win, and actually there is no air engagement. Okay, alright. But FoxTermelon, look at this. He's taken the whole map.
Yeah. That slight eco advantage that MauganRa had after he got kicked out of his main base is now pretty much evaporated. He's doing quite a bit with the eco that he has.
And he says that is it. I think realizing just how much of a spread FoxTermelon has and does end up control K'ing. He did have a chance there, so definitely, again, no blames for trying. But that was very decisive from FoxTermelon there.
Well, he's the only person that's taken a map off FoxTermelon in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, he is the one of the few players that has managed to take off a map. I think the other one was Hope during the group stage. And yeah, that is the end of the season 2, ladies and gentlemen. It was a quite an exciting season. I think we saw some new names in the league, as well as some old ones really kind of come up and do well. I think some people have kind of had a disappointing league, I suppose. But hey, we do have the SCS Summer 2020 tournament coming up here next weekend. So make sure you drop in for that if you want to play. Of course, register. You still have time until Wednesday to do that. Check out that registration page for more information. You can find a link to that on the Discords. As far as this game, I guess, Spiff, I don't know if you had too much, if you've seen too much about the league itself, the whole season, but any thoughts about that, or even this game in general, or the playoffs?
Well, I mean, we just saw a fantastic series here, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what FoxTermelon does in the next season, since he just had such a great run. And we'll be seeing him back in the Invitational as well, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. FoxTermelon joins Hope in that qualification. Of course, Hope got that from the League Season 1 playoff. So congratulations to them both. Of course, we're going to have one more player join the ranks in Season 3, unless one of them wins it again, in which case I guess it's forfeit. But it is quite exciting. We're getting to that point where I actually have to start planning for the Invitational, which is crazy, right after this summer tournament, I guess. Both of these players are going to be playing. I think everybody who made it to the playoffs is playing. The only person that I'm sad to see not playing is, of course, Alpha Hex. I was hoping he would play, but he decided to back out. But hey, we still got over 18 players signed up. I believe we have around 20, and we have some really cool names playing in that tournament. So I hope to see Spiff back to cast a little bit of games with me next weekend. But of course, that is always up in the air because our schedules are so crazy. So, but I hope to see you guys next weekend, I suppose. Check out,
we'll have a lot of good games.
Yeah, check out my YouTube and subscribe to my Twitch if you've enjoyed that. And subscribe to my YouTube as well if you like me that much, I guess. I do some other cool things. And again, thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and we will see you next weekend for the SOS Summer. Thank you, and good night.